The lockdown, the lockdown here in Colombia is like very intense. But I need to say that because it's so intense and we cannot go out just for essentials, basically. That's the only thing we can go outside. That is actually bringing us closer together. So like I don't know, like okay, let me tell it. So we have an amazing relationship, the three of us, because there is Gustavo, so attractive and so just amazing and intelligent. That's the thing that I love the most. And then there's Thais, which is like so sensitive, and she just knows how to make you feel good. She knows about things like stories from the past and so much history, and she just brings it out to the present and help you in so many ways. But then there is Beth.
You have no idea where I am. Okay, so after all the fucking shit with Jeremy, I just had to get out of England. And one night I sat down in the dark, I spun my globe, and just waited to see exactly where my finger would land. And I opened my eyes, turned the light on, and it was on Colombia. Right, Colombia, man. Can you imagine? I've never in a million years thought about coming here, but anyway, look, I'm here, and it is the most beautiful country I have ever been to in my life. The people are beautiful, the landscape is beautiful, the food, oh my god, the food. I'm going to gain like, I don't know, probably about 20 pounds in the first week. It's so delicious. And you've got to know that Colombia is not spelt with a U, it's spelt with an O, okay? And it's not in the United States of America, it's in South America. Everyone gets that wrong, apparently. Where do I start? Okay, this is a long story, so you better get ready. So, on my second day, I decided just to go out and have a walk. I got over my jet lag, and I found this really lovely park, and I went and sat down and did a bit of meditation and just tried to clear my head of all the shit that's been going on at home. And I'm sat there, and I see this girl walking in my direction, and all of a sudden she comes over to me and introduces herself, right? Her name is Carmen. You have no idea the beauty of this girl. She is the most, exotic, sexy woman that I've ever seen in my life, right? And so she sits down and we start talking, and it's like, it feels like we've known each other forever. We're like soul sisters. It's just nuts. And so we talk and we talk and we talk, and I tell her about what's been going on with me, and she tells me, oh, I've got this lovely boyfriend, Gustavo, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so she invites me for a walk the next day.
And then she came to Colombia, like just for a little bit, holiday time. But the thing is, when I met her, she's from London, so she has this beautiful accent, and she kind of like remind me a Europa, porque yo soy de España, so like it's, I don't know, it's like a little, like it gives you kind of chills kind of thing.
We go for our walk, and she shows me around the city. It's just stunning. You have to come here one day, honestly. So we're walking and talking and having the best time, and then we come to this bridge. It's one of the most beautiful bridges I've ever seen. And we start walking over the bridge, and all of a sudden she says to me, hang on, stop a minute, I need to tell you a secret. So I was like, all right, fine, what's the secret? But she says, no, you've got to move closer. So I move a bit closer. Then she says, no, you've got to move a bit closer. So I moved a bit closer. And all of a sudden she kissed me. And I have never experienced anything like that before. The kiss, it was strong and passionate, but also it was just so delicate and romantic all at the same time. It was like, I swear to God, like as it was happening, like the skies felt like they turned purple and pink and flashes of light everywhere. It was like the most magnetic amazing thing I've ever experienced. And obviously, I've never kissed a girl before, but it really, in that moment, like, it didn't matter. Her gender didn't matter at all. And anyway, so we break away, but then I suddenly kind of come to my senses, and I remembered, I was like, hang on a minute, you have a boyfriend? And she says, yeah. And I said, well, I was thinking maybe in Colombia, like maybe her language had got wrong and she meant like she just has a boy that's a friend. But she says, no, I have a boyfriend that I'm with. We just, after that, after the kiss, we just carry on walking and we see even more of the city. And I don't know, my kind of head's racing because A, I've never kissed a girl before, but B, she said she's got a boyfriend. And, well, you know me, I'm Mrs. Monogamy, So I did have a sense of guilt, actually. It was a bit weird. Well, no, not weird, but do you know what I mean? Anyway, it got later and later and later, and I just didn't want the day to end. And so, boldly and embarrassingly, I said to her, would you like to come back to my hotel for a cup of tea? Which I know is ridiculously English and silly, but anyway, she said, yeah. And I don't know then. I don't know what I was thinking, I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't want the day to end, right? And so we go to my hotel room, and I'm seeing that trying to find like tea, which I don't know, like Colombia probably has like way different kinds of tea. I wanted to find English breakfast tea to show her, but obviously they didn't have that. It was tea, anyway, it was tea. And anyway, as I'm boiling the kettle, I suddenly feel her hands on my back, and suddenly she just turns me round and she kisses me again. And one thing led to another, and we had sex. But it seems weird to call it sex because it wasn't this kind of carnal, lustful, it was just so weird, so different. It was sensual and erotic, and I discovered parts of my body and feelings in my body that I'd never ever known before. And obviously there wasn't penetration, but I felt like she'd completely become part of me. It was absolutely incredible. Yeah. So that happened, and I'm never going to forget that, ever. That experience was mind-blowing. The following morning I woke up, right, and I honestly didn't know whether I'd been dreaming or not. She wasn't there, and my head was just spinning out. I can't even describe to you how I felt that morning. Anyway, so I went over to the minibar to get some water, and suddenly I see this note which says, I never knew tea tasted that good. And I don't know, my heart just melted. But I had no idea if I'd ever see her again or, So anyway, that day though, I go to lunch and I'm sitting by myself, and they've got television screens on in the restaurant, and they've got the news on. And to my horror, I hear that Colombia's now gone into complete lockdown because of COVID-19. There are like 3 flights left that are going to be going out to London, all of which are extortionately expensive. There's no way I could afford to get on one of those planes. So I'm freaking out. I've got no idea like what I'm going to do, how I'm going to cope. I was like literally at that point thinking, shit, I've got to go and buy a tent and live under a bridge or something.
So her flight was about to happen, and then the lockdown happened.
But all of a sudden, my phone pings, and it's a text message from her.
So she's like, and she didn't know where to be, so I brought her home thinking that would be the best amazing idea que podía suceder, ¿sabes? O sea, en todo el mundo, y ella se podía quedar con nosotros, y yo pensé, estupendo.
I couldn't believe it.
So at the beginning, todo bien. Like, je suis habitante with mes amours, y todo fantástico.
So I arrive at the house, and when I come in, she introduces me to her two roommates, Gustavo and Ty, and they're both really, really lovely. And it was just starting to get a little bit weird because I saw Carmen slapping Ty's ass, right? And I felt something, but then I kind of thought, well, maybe that's just what girls do in Colombia. I don't know. And then a few days into this, and you're never going to believe me, I know I'm going to start to sound like I've been a complete prostitute ever since I've been in this country, but Gustavo starts flirting with me, right? And he is hot. It's like off the chart hot. I mean, these Colombian men, oh my God. Anyway, so he starts flirting with me, and the other two were out that day, and one thing led to another, and I had sex with him. And I'm now, this whole situation is becoming like super not uncomfortable, but just like, you know, for somebody like me, like I've never behaved that way before. But here's the big thing that you need to know. A few days later, I discover that Gustavo is Carmen's boyfriend, right? And my head is like blown because both of them seem to be completely okay with the fact that they're both, well, sleeping with me. And so what's incredible is that both Carmen and Gustavo are completely fine with the fact that they're with each other, but they're also with me. And they basically have completely introduced me to the concept of polyamory and what it is. And I have to tell you, I like it.
Thais bring us think that you could not have otherwise. She's a trans woman, and that's the thing that I love the most. I first used to date Gustavo, and I thought he was the man of my dreams, el hombre de mi vida. But then Thais came in, and she has, like, she's so feminine, but at the same time, she has other qualities that you cannot find in a different girl, and it's just like a perfect combination. So the three of us is like.
And I got to tell you a bit about Ty as well. Like, we got talking, and she's full of anecdotes, and I don't know. She loves philosophy. She's well read. She's so intelligent, and just like on a, not on an emotional level so much, but just on an intellectual and kind of mind connection. Like, her and I just get on so well. And so I'm living in quarantine with this group of people who I've never met before. Two of them I'm, you know, doing what I'm doing with. And the other one, I've fallen in love with her mind. And I love all of them so much. And I realize, you know, that there's different people give you different things. And I've now come to believe that one person can't give you everything, you know, and that certainly wasn't the case with Jeremy. So Colombia has changed my life, and all for the better, I think. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I have fallen in love in so many different ways.
Vení, a lo largo de mi vida siempre sentí que no encajaba, que a pesar que tenía mis amigos, familiares, personas que me querían, nunca iba a encontrar el verdadero amor, ¿oís? Cuando conocí a alguien, siempre pasaba algo que me impedía seguir adelante. O no teníamos nada en común, o me daba cuenta que esa persona no valía la pena y era bien morronga. Ay, no, papi, eso era puro entuque, ¿oís? Tengo que admitir que tengo un problema, y es que me aburro muy fácil con las personas, y adicionalmente, para empeorar las cosas, soy bien aletoso. Ve, pero mira que por ahí leí una vez que el amor nunca llama a la puerta, sino que entra como Pedro por su casa. Para ser más claro, todo empezó 5 meses atrás. Yo iba con mi vida con completa normalidad. Mis clases, iba a entrenar, salía de vez en cuando como cualquier pelado de 22 años, vos sabés. Y un día, ay papi, un día me llegó un mensaje. Me pareció lo más de extraño. Era de alguien que yo ni conocía y mucho menos tenía en mis redes sociales, ¿oís? El mensaje decía, hello. Hello. ¿Vos podés creerlo? ¿Qué es hello? Un hello de un perfil que además de todo estaba en privado. Por lo tanto, yo no podía ver ninguna foto, publicación, video y mucho menos información. Es que como me embejucan esas cuentas privadas, ¿oís? Así que decidí responderle con la misma frialdad y con un concreto y rotundo: ve, ¿vos qué? Ay, papi, no pasaron ni 10 segundos cuando me respondió. La conversación se iba hacia lo típico. Ve, ¿en qué andas? ¿Bien o qué? Ah, yo empezaba a aburrirme, como cosa rara. Hasta cuando de repente la conversación se puso interesante. Y no, no es lo que vos pensás. No me refiero a las conversaciones donde el objetivo es enviar fotos desnudo, no. Digo interesante. Yo veía que tenía gustos bastante peculiares, ¿ve? Igualiticos a los míos. Le gustaban las películas en blanco y negro. Amaba a Vivian Leigh. Leía obras como Un tranvía llamado Deseo. Papi, ¿vos puedes creerlo? Hoy en día nadie tiene esos gustos. Yo, sin llegarme a ilusionar, le seguí la conversación. Los días pasaban y las cosas se ponían cada vez más interesantes. Esto era diferente. Mira, siempre me encuentro con el mismo tipo de conversaciones donde el objetivo es el sexo. Y no me malinterpretes. No digo que el sexo esté mal, no. Pero es que yo buscaba algo más. Yo estaba buscando a alguien con quien pudiese conectar de una forma más especial, ¿me entendés? Más allá de lo carnal, de lo físico. Y acá estaba pasando eso. Papi, es que hablar con alguien sin saber quién es, qué es. Y sí, cuando digo qué es, me refiero a saber si era un hombre, una mujer. Pues, sin dejarme llevar por el prejuicio de si era un hombre, una mujer, si estaba tapiado, o estaba viga, o si estaba bueno o estaba buena. Porque mira, lo único que a mí me importaba, me importa y me importará es lo que pasa aquí. Papi, y aún más, lo que pasa aquí. ¿Vos sí me entendés? Y soy consciente. Soy consciente que es muy descuidado de mi parte el hablar con alguien que ni siquiera tiene una berraca foto para no tener una medio idea de cómo es. Mientras uno tiene cientos de publicaciones que incluyen fotos y videos. Él o ella no solía hablarme acerca de su vida. Mira, yo no sé si esa era su intención o lo hacía de forma involuntaria. Papi, pero es que yo estaba tan interesado en seguir hablando que nunca se me pasó por la cabeza el meterme al rancho. Lo único que yo sabía era que éramos del mismo país. Un día ya después de haber hablado bastante tiempo, decidí tomar el toro por los cuernos y preguntarle si podía enviarme una foto. Él o ella cayó. Papi, mejor dicho, quedó en silencio. O yo lo interpreté de esa manera porque es que en el chat, en la parte inferior, pues aparecen los chulitos. ¿Vos sabés? Esos que te indican que la otra persona ya leyó el mensaje. Creo que fueron los segundos, inclusive los minutos más largos de mi vida. 2 o 3 minutos. Papi me dijo que sí, que no había ningún problema con eso, pero que me pedían encarecidamente hablar después de ver su foto. Mm. Recuerdo que sentí un poco de miedo. Papi, pero es que en noticias se ha visto una cantidad de viejos verdes asquerosos que se hacen pasar por gente más joven simplemente para alimentar su morbo. Mira, pero es que lo que me parecía más extraño era que nunca me había pedido una foto. Mira, inclusive nunca me había dicho algo que me hiciese pensar que tenía malas intenciones. Papi, pero es que si me ponía a pensar, ¿a qué joven le pueden gustar las cosas que a él o a ella le gustaban? Tantas cosas pasaban por mi cabeza que la única cosa que hice casi sin pensar pues era la conversación. En el resto del día ni siquiera vi mi celular. Mira, ese era el momento pues en el que yo necesitaba pues ver las cosas y al día siguiente decidí tomar el toro por los cuernos y abrir la conversación. papi, y me dio una sorpresa. Tenía unos ojos, mira, tenía, papi, tenía una sonrisa. Ve, ha sido la sonrisa más bonita que yo he visto en mi vida, ¿oís? Y junto a la foto hay una pequeña descripción. Ves que inclusive te la anoté. Hola, antes de hablar de mí, quiero agradecerte por permitirme hablarte. Espero sigas hablándome después de saber quién y cómo soy. Me llamo Emi, tengo 20 años. Aparte de las cosas que ya te dije que me gusta hacer, omití algo muy importante. Hace un par de años tuve un accidente que me dejó parapléjica. La verdad no te lo dije por temor a que me rechazaras o simplemente me dejaras de hablar por lástima. Espero nada cambie. Con cariño, Emily. En realidad no puedo expresar cómo me sentí en ese momento. No tenía las palabras adecuadas para contestarle o responderle algo. Necesitaba pensar, papi, y me di cuenta que había peleado tanto tiempo conmigo por no encontrar una buena paz de pan de bono. Papi, alguien que me entendiera, que me comprendiera. Y me di cuenta que esa oportunidad de conocer a alguien como Emily nunca se repetiría, pues. Así que era el momento. Decidí conocerla en persona. Papi, todo estaba planeado. Me había preparado para que nos pegáramos un borondo y nos tomáramos un champús. De champús es una bebida típica de Cali, pues para que me entiendas. Todo marchaba a la perfección. Hasta que todo se complicó. ¿Vos podés creerlo? Las tiendas cerraron. Los supermercados impedían el ingreso. La movilidad se había restringido. Papi, habíamos entrado en cuarentena. Noticieros, revistas, redes sociales, todas inundadas con la misma noticia. El berraco COVID-19 había llegado a Colombia. No, en lo único que podía pensar era en Emily y en esa imposibilidad que se nos había presentado. Papi, es que en mí surgiera la duda, ¿será que era estar solo? No, es que yo, mejor dicho, me descualquiera. Pero Emily también quedó devastada. Papi, pero no todo terminó ahí, porque es que a partir de ese momento nuestras conversaciones se han alargado. Papi, nuestras llamadas duran hasta 2 horas. ¿Vos podés creerlo? Hacemos videollamadas, ¿o es? Mira, pero no ha sido fácil. Porque es que yo a veces no me entiendo, yo le hablo. La otra vez le dije, ve, vos sos bien caridosa, Luis, pero Tolis, y quedó sana. No me entendió nada. Yo le dije que calidosa es cuando alguien es chévere, es interesante, es cálido. Y ella siempre se siente mal porque no me entiende. Y yo le digo que todo Wendy's, que no hay problema. Siempre que me despido, le digo, no spi, manchus par. Y nos demoramos otra y media hora hasta que le explico cada expresión. Es que esto es muy berraco ser de dos partes muy distintas. Pero es bonito. Es bonito porque hemos aprendido uno del otro. Por ejemplo, allá en Bogotá ellos dicen quedarse en casa. Acá nosotros decimos enchusparse. Allá ellos dicen regañar. Nosotros aquí decimos dar gallina. Papi, ha hecho que la conversación y que esta cuarentena sea mucho más amena, que este encierro sea mucho más productivo. Independientemente de si llegamos o no a cuadrarnos, o para que vos me entendás, ser novios, sé que tengo a alguien que me entiende, que me comprende. ¿Vos sí me entendés? Papi, y yo te sigo hablando porque es que ya me está escribiendo. Nospi.
So quarantine has made my dating life a little strange. I have to still go on social distance dates, so that would mean like I'm on one side of the street and the girls are on the other side of the street. Yeah, I'm currently seeing 3 fantastic women, and I decided to date 2 of them at the same time on a social distance date.
Es que además no sé por qué no la dije. El día que la conocí le tendría que haber dicho lo que había, porque es que no entiendo que ese día nos estamos conociendo. No sabíamos si eso, si iba a llegar a alguna parte de nuestra relación. No entiendo porque ese día no se lo dije. Hubiese sido el día más fácil para decírselo y no fui tonta. La vi llegar y la verdad que me, me quedé atónita. Me encantó, tengo la imagen en la cabeza de... Llevaba un bolso amarillo con flecos y se movían con el contoneo de sus pasos. No sé, me dejó alucinar. Nos fuimos a tomar algo y yo no hacía más que fijarme en su pelo, en su sonrisa, las uñitas, tan pequeñitas, tan monas. No sé, todo lo que veía de ella me estaba gustando, me impresionó mucho. Y yo creo que eso fue lo que hizo que me sintiese pequeñita, ¿sabes? Soy tonta porque soy tonta y no debería haber dejado que el hecho de que ella me impresionase tanto y que me pareciese tan guay me hubiese hecho sentir así. Y yo lo que quería era gustarla. Estuvimos hablando de todo, pues lo típico, ¿no? El día que te conoces, pues hablas de la familia, de tus hobbies, de los amigos, de tus estudios, de a qué te has dedicado o en qué trabajas en este momento. Y hubo un momento, pues que ya me dijo de que, pues bueno, me contó que ella es homosexual, que de hecho nunca ha tenido ninguna relación con ningún chico, que y que aparte como que siempre lo había tenido claro, ¿sabes? Que ella no se veía con ningún chico y que era así de toda la vida y nada, y también me dijo que es poliamorosa. Y bueno, yo es algo que respeto, es verdad que no he probado nunca, pero bueno, tampoco me he ido bien en la monogamia, así que ya sabes, no me importaría probar o estar con una persona que lo practique, porque bueno, me llama la atención y yo qué sé.
So yeah, since I can't really bring any of the girls home or go over to their place, I usually just text them, video call, sex call, chat, anything, really, you name it.
Pero es verdad que yo en ese momento me centré más en el aspecto del poliamor, no lo de que fuese homosexual, como que lo obvié y yo no le dije que yo soy bisexual. Entonces, claro, ahora, a día de hoy, me arrepiento porque soy tonta, porque como te decía, ese día hubiese sido el mejor día para decirle que yo soy bisexual, porque nos estamos conociendo y ya vemos si esto va a algún lado, ya sabes lo que hay yo sé lo que hay con ella, ya sabes lo que hay conmigo y ya está, ¿no? Hubiese sido el mejor día, digo yo. Pues no, pues yo voy, me callo y así estoy 4 meses después que tengo una rayada en la cabeza que es que no lo aguanto. Y encima ahora con todo esto de la pandemia, pues tú me dirás, aquí sola en casa, todo el día rayándome, comiéndome el coco, pues porque se lo tenía que haber dicho. Ya son 4 meses de relación y no se lo he dicho. Y es que soy gilipollas. Porque por un lado, no se lo he dicho por miedo, ¿sabes? O sea, no... Tengo miedo a que ella, que como a ella no le gustan los chicos, tengo miedo que ella me rechace. Por eso, no quiero dejar de quedar con ella, me gusta mucho, la quiero mucho. Y han sido 4 meses súper intensos, muy, muy bonitos, funciona todo en nosotras. Y solo de pensar que pueda reaccionar mal, me acojono, estoy cagada. Entonces voy y no se lo digo. ¿Qué haces? ¿Sabes? O sea, por estar con una persona y por agradarla no le vas a decir cómo tú eres y vas a dejar de ser tú misma. Pues no, ¿verdad? No, pues no, pues sí, pues lo hago, soy tonta. Me callo y no hago nada. ¿sabes? Y estoy con una persona que ella no sabe cómo soy yo, en verdad, porque sí, puede conocer una parte de mí, pero no conoce una parte muy importante en mí. Y es que también me gustan los hombres. Y bueno,
The first girl I met, she's a cosplayer. I met her on a dating site. She cosplayed from The Last Airbender that just came out on Netflix. She was beautiful. Like she's very talented in cosplaying. She really takes it seriously.
ya como para contarla que me estoy iniciando en drag king, ¿sabes? Ya vamos, es que, o sea, pero es que a lo mejor todo esto es rayada mía, es que fijo que esto es rayada mía, porque a lo mejor se lo digo y no pasa nada. Imagínate que me dice, pero si lo sabía, pues me quedaría, vamos, alucinada. No sé. A lo mejor no, a lo mejor reacciona mal, pero es que eso es mi miedo, y si reacciona mal, y si la decepciono. Y sí. Pero yo es que yo lo digo, ¿sabes? Yo digo las cosas, luego me oigo y digo, ¿cómo que si la decepcionas? Pero tú eres tonta, ¿cómo que si la decepcionas? No la puedes decepcionar, y si la decepcionas, pues mal, pues está claro que Mónica no era para mí y ya está, ¿no? Supongo, porque no creo que la pueda decepcionar. ¿O acaso ella me ha decepcionado a mí porque solo le gustan las tías? No, ¿verdad? ¿A que a mí ella no me ha decepcionado porque solo le gustan las tías? No. Pues entonces, la hija, ¿qué haces? ¿Qué haces? ¿Que no se lo dices? Pues no se lo digo, y es que es lo que te digo, que me sé muy bien la teoría, pero luego no lo hago. Y ahora aquí, ¿cómo se lo voy a decir? ¿A través de una videollamada? Pues como que no. Entonces, a ver si pasa todo esto y tengo los cojones de decírselo. Pero es que yo se lo quiero decir, pero a la vez me siento incapaz, ¿sabes? Me siento totalmente incapaz, que no sé si voy a ser capaz, aunque yo sepa que debo ser capaz, no creo que vaya a ser capaz. Y es que eso me revienta de mí misma. Es que para pegarme 2 tortazos, o sea, ¿cómo puedo permitir estar con una persona, dejar de ser yo 100% simplemente por el miedo a su reacción? Pues no tendrá que estar conmigo sabiendo cómo soy. Sí, ya sé que soy una rayada, si siempre me lo dices, pero es que no, pues eso. Y aquí sola, ¿qué quieres que haga? Y bueno, te voy a decir lo que estoy haciendo. Estoy desarrollando a Diego de una manera increíble. O sea, todo este tiempo la verdad que me está sirviendo de una investigación, de una experimentación, de ese lado mío, de esa masculinidad que puedo yo tener. Estoy jugando. Es que es una pasada, me está enganchando. De hecho, o sea, hay días que me levanto y digo, hoy soy Diego. Me preparo y paso el día siendo Diego. Y una pasada. Me pongo frente al espejo a ver cómo son las poses de Diego, cómo habla, cómo se mueve, cómo anda. Y es una pasada. Y esto que estoy descubriendo en mí, que me está gustando tanto, ¿por qué se lo tengo que esconder a la persona a la que quiero? No es justo. Para mí ni para ella. Así que espero que poder llegar a tener que es que tengo que poder, que sí. No, yo tengo que llegar a tener, no, tengo que tener esa fuerza en coger y decírselo. Cuando todo esto pase, eso sí, porque lo que te decía, porque como que por aquí es un poco frío, ¿no? No sé, es un poco raro. No tenerla cara a cara directamente y sentarme a su lado, cogerle la mano y decírselo, no es lo mismo. Así que, no sé, yo solo espero que ella se lo tome bien. Y espero que esa conexión que tenemos juntas no se esfume, que pueda...
And she also apparently likes threesomes. So, yeah, I cannot wait until the stay-at-home orders lift. And I'm more into her psychologically than physically at the moment. So, yeah.
Bueno, esto ya sería la leche. Es que tú imagínate que desarrollando a Diego, pues he tenido la fantasía de poder estar teniendo relaciones con ella, pero siendo Diego. ¿sabes? Para desarrollar a Diego también en ese ámbito de cómo tocaría Diego a Mónica, cómo la besaría, cómo la agarraría. No sé, me encantaría probarlo con ella. Pero esto no me va a hacer muchas ilusiones porque a saber. Primero la diré que soy bisexual y luego pues la presentaré a Diego porque es una parte muy importante de mí y lo tiene que saber. Pero lo que te digo, ojalá y cuando pase todo esto pueda coger y decírselo y yo solo espero que todo salga bien y que ella lo comprenda y que lo respete y que quiera seguir estando conmigo. Y si no quiere estar conmigo, pues es porque no tenía que estar conmigo y es porque no me respeta y entonces pues ya está, no somos la una para la otra, ya está. Pero yo quiero pensar que va a salir como yo quiero que salga ahora mismo y me gustaría que después de todo esto vernos, abrazarnos lo primero y decirse, tengo que ser capaz de decirse. Eso es lo que
Ever since the quarantine, we've been sending a lot of recordings instead of text messages. It's kind of like we're having a casual conversation the entire day, you know, our usual everyday conversation like good morning, how you doing. It's almost like the same as normal, except that we're not physically there, you know, anymore. And we try to talk to with each other throughout the entire day, even though we're busy working or taking care of a family. But I always long to hear their voices. Like I would play their recordings over and over again until while I wait for the reply. And our dates were more frequent. Even though they're just online dates, they became very spontaneous and wonderful. Make it amazing for each other to show that we really care. We go on like 3 to 4 days a week of dating. Yeah, it's a lot, but we earnestly try. Um, we would cook together. We would cook our meals for the date. They would teach me how to cook. It amazes me how it amazes me how proficient Ren is at being able to cook while teaching me how to cook at the same time. Like they would be watching over me through the video cam, instructing me how to like cut certain vegetables or meat or how or the number of minutes to boil them while boiling the pasta or baking pork chops or cooking fried rice like they were just looking through their peripheral the whole time while looking at me entirely. It's amazing how well they're able to multitask. And on special occasions, we would also make our each of our favorite cocktails. I'm a margarita type of guy. Ren likes a good Long Island iced tea. Yeah, I would get fucked over. Like it's yeah, I could barely drink half of it and I just get drunk and all happy, loopy, and sad at the same time. Like I'm very, you know, like I'm very happy, sad, drunk. But during our dates, we would ask all kinds of questions, like questions we always want to know about each other, questions that we always wanted to do together, or if one of us don't know, haven't watched a movie before or a TV show, we would totally watch it or binge watch the show like after the date. If there's like some video games we want to play together, we would do so. Online games or even online Dungeons and Dragon games that we always wanted to play together. Now that we have the time to, we would totally find a game and just role play. If there's something that we always wanted to do together, whether it's learning, like we would try our best to do it. Like I remember one time we would drive to our favorite park, to the best spot for stargazing, and we would be at our car 6 feet apart, at our own little cars, and we would just gaze at the stars together. We would learn our native tongues. I would teach Ren Mandarin. They would teach me Spanish. I don't know. Like I think Ren's Spanish is a totally different story. Like if I could compare the way they speak in English, it's like a warm, sensual campfire that just hugs you throughout the night. Like their Spanish is a wildfire. It's full of passion. It's intense. Sometimes I just get lost into just the sound that they make, and they would get annoyed at me because they're just trying to teach me Spanish, but I'm not paying attention the entire time because I'm just listening to them without really paying attention, and yeah, it's really fun. But you would imagine, being in a relationship for 3 months now, you would know so much about your partner. But I think we ask a lot of questions, and yeah, we just surprisingly learn a lot about each other during our online dates. Like, I never knew that Ren keeps a dream diary. Like, I remember right after the date, we would immediately start building our own pillow forts. And well, as we lie on our pillow forts, we would talk about our dreams the entire night. Well, Ren mostly because they actually keep a dream diary and they seem to remember most of their dreams. Like, yeah, like even more than I would ever remember, like one of them, really. There is this one dream where Ren saw their mother who passed away when they were 3, and they were holding her hand. And suddenly, Ren started to let go, and they started falling through the sky, through clouds, through floors of different places that they recognized, like throughout their childhood, like the streets they always play at, their favorite restaurant they always go to, um, their classrooms, the attic of their grandmother, um, who also passed away by now. But until they started falling into the sea, and they were about to crash and submerge, but when they hit the surface, it rebounded and bounced them back up like a trampoline. And they just started bouncing up and down through the sea until they began to fly or glide, like kind of like a flying fish, but without wings. And as they started gliding, the water just opened up into this. Um, the the way they describe it, it was like a whirlpool, but it also opened up like a path. And as they dove into the path, it was similar to the hiking trail we always go to during our camping trip last summer. It was very rough. It was jagged and steep, but it had like one of the best viewing places um, for us to see the entire city landscape, the waterfall, the mountains, and even the observatory. Like it was the uh, to us, it felt like we could just see the world around us. But this path in their dream led them into a beach. Right after, as they were walking towards the beach, they were suddenly swept by a gust of wind and they were pulled into the sea again. But they found themselves uh, holding on to me, like latching me tightly, and I seemed to be skyrocketing into outer space, and everything just started getting brighter and brighter. So they tried to shut their eyes and hold on to me as hard as they can until they had to wake up. And when they woke up, they were still in that same cuddling position, um, like hugging me and spooning me, really. I will always remember that dream. I mean, that was the same night where we had our first sex. Yeah, it was the best kind of sex I ever had. Like it was a sex where all the pent up passion and intensity and vulnerability was just released between us, and we did not regret it. Like I felt like the entire like all parts of my body were satisfied. Like they really know how to satisfy me in bed. And yeah, I remember after they woke me up by kissing my neck, and I could feel their breaths, and they started fondling me, hand across the chest, until they started kissing my cheek and said good morning before going to the restroom. I mean, they know I don't like morning kisses until we actually brush our teeth. But speaking of sex, yeah, quarantine didn't really stop us. We still do online video sex. I mean, sure, I'm a very physically intimate person. Like, I really miss the touching, but we play to our kinks. So they always love to see me in, cross dress, in a dress or in a very tight made outfit. So I would wear it during one of our dinner dates. And as we eat, they would come with one of the most like very kinky or flirty pickup lines, like not those really bad ones, but like very, very kinky ones. Like it always surprised me or throw me off guard. There was one time they made a pickup line about something about how the carpet doesn't match the curtains, and that really threw me off guard. But yeah, every time I get surprised, I would take off an article of clothing, and until eventually I reveal that I also had, rope around me. They always love, rope bondage. So yeah, I would tie myself. As for me, Ren knows that I'm a huge fan of hentai, even though they would never understand why. So for them, they would also put on, the other schoolboy and schoolgirl outfit. And yes, there are tentacle dills involved. And yeah, we role play. Whenever I'm in the female clothing, the outfits, I would be like, for example, the maid, and they would play my boss or the dominant figure. And if they're dressed up in a schoolboy or schoolgirl outfit and play around their body with tentacle dildos out, yeah, it's still very fascinating. I mean, it turns me on whenever we do it. We're both are able to finish, and just masturbate together. Like after being quarantined, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like we have like the best dating moments of our lives. Even though we're very physically intimate. When we're just together on our own, doing these online dates, it feels like we're not being judged. Like, no one else is involved. No one tried to define us as a couple, I guess. Like, everyone thinks I'm the straight Asian guy. Did I ever tell you that one time during the rehearsals for Sweetie Todd? Uh, so no, it was not Sweetie Todd. It was Book of Mormon. It was Book of Mormon. Okay, so we were doing Book of Mormon, right? And it was like the all guys rehearsal, and then literally Daniel, when we're all rehearsing, Daniel deliberately said, "All right, so everyone here except for Raymond is part of the LGBTQ community," and he's because he basically he thinks that I'm straight, and literally Tony, he's the only one who knows that I'm not straight. He looks at me and I just smiled. Like, yeah, I kind of got caught out for being straight. My parents, right? They always expect me to be the heteronormative man who marries a heteronormative wife and have kids, and we're going to be a very straight, financially stable family. But that's not going to happen. But yeah, as for Ren, I know I'm doing my best, but I wish I could really help them. They'll never get over the fact that people will keep referring to them as a female from time to time because, they have feminine body. There was this one time on our first dinner with my parents. It seemed like it was a great one. Ren was able to impress my parents with some of, basic Mandarin greetings and pronunciation, and surprisingly they seem to accept them even though they're not Asian. But after the dinner, I drove Ren into our favorite stargazing spot, and as we lied down on my car, Ren started crying, and I asked, "Why are you crying? Is everything okay?" And they said they were really upset. Like, they were upset by the dinner. And the reason why is that my parents will never accept them as who they are, right? They would always think of them as my girlfriend. Yeah. And, they don't understand the complexities behind gender. And I feel like a lot of people within our personal life, some of them don't understand it as well. So we always feel like we're being categorized based on our relationship when really we just don't care. We just want to be together. And at some point in time before the quarantine, it felt like we were about to break up. But I felt like during this quarantine, it's keeping us together. Like we're taking things one day at a time. And during our online dates, I'm not the Asian male, and they're not the Latina female. We're just two people in love, and we just want that.
The second girl I met, I usually video chat her, and she's a dancer. She's been in so many music videos with these really famous people. She was in the recent one with I forgot. It was it was amazing. She was Latin dancing and everything. She has an incredible body. Like she can belly dance. I love women with talent. Super sexy. Super excited to meet her in person. Right now, I can't just sext her. I have to video call her. She's too gorgeous to not want to look at all the time. She's the jealous type, which I try to actively avoid, but she's so sweet, just a very down to earth girl. So I really enjoy her.
I mean, like, this stay-at-home order hasn't like really affected me. Besides, like, just like being scared of catching this virus, you know, or getting sick. Just working from home usually right now. Not being able to go out. Uh, like, I guess like the one thing I really miss is, you know, just like Miss Alex. You know, we used to go out every weekend. You know, I'd pick him up right after his shift from work. We'd go get some drinks and then like spend the night dancing at the clubs, or nights where we used to just like stay at home, you know, watch some movies. I guess like that's mostly what I miss. You know, just like all those like romantic stuff we used to do, be able to do stuff together. I mean, like I still see him here and there. You know, there's been times when I've been able to just FaceTime him. That's just different. I did get to see him like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, it felt like such a long time ago. But I was safe, you know. Like I was wearing my mask while the moment I got to his place, I took that mask off and I grabbed him like, towards me, pressed my lips against him, and you know, we were just holding each other so tight in a warm embrace. Like I did not want to let him go. I just wanted to be in that moment forever. Kissing him, feeling him against my body, my hands like just running up and down, you know, holding him. Oh, his smell is, you know, I just, there's just something about his smell. It's like, it's so intoxicating. Like, I absolutely love it. And I don't know how to describe it, but it's just, it's so bomb. It's like, and it's a distinct smell. Like it's nothing I've ever smelled before. But like even now, it's like I have some shirts of his. It's like I get to wear them around the house, and you know it makes my day, especially because like I feel like he's here with me. It's like I get to smell a part of him, and you know, it's like even though now that we're apart, like, for now, but you know, just can't wait for this all to be over. And I guess to be honest, you know, so like I do miss, you know, like you know, making love with him. I know it sounds cheesy, you know, it's like, but it's true, you know, it's like for me, yes, it's sex, you know, which I love, but it's more than that. You know, it's like we love each other like so much. It's like you know, it's like we're so passionate, we're intimate. It's like every second is something that's so it's timeless. You know, but for me, it takes a lot like before I get to actually have sex with someone. That's what like. And I remember it's like the first when we first met. I met him during Latin night, you know, at Mickey's. And I was like with my two friends, and then you know, it's all like, and then I see Alex. You know, it's like we made contact, and there's just there's this, you know, this connection. It's like he came up to me, like he pulled me in to dance. You know, he had such a way, and how he carried himself. You know, he was so charming. Like he got to talking to me, talking to my friends. It was really nice. You know, we spent the whole night dancing and talking, you know, until the closed. You know, we exchanged each other's numbers, and then, you know, it's like we met up the following day. You know, Oh wait, it's him. Is this for real? Am I actually reading this correctly? Hold on. How can this be? Is he serious? What is this? Is this my fault? Did I do something wrong? Was it me? Like I I've been there for him every day, like always texting him. Like I can't believe this. You know, like I'm always there checking up on him, how he is, how his day is going. You know, calling to see where he is. Even sometimes, you know, it's like we share each other's locations. You know, it's like, did I bug him too much? Like, what is this text? Like, saying I'm exhausting him too much? Like, was I too much at times? Like, come on. Like, hold on. Like, I should message him. Let me see what he says. Or no, like, hold on. I think I should call him. Huh. Voicemail? Hold up. That's no. How could he? I've never even left him. I've never left him a voicemail. He's always gonna pick up my phone. I mean, it can't be like the end all be all, you know? Like we can work it out. Like couples couples make it work all the time. Like I've never opened myself to anybody else the way I like I I'm gonna like you know, like all those late night conversations we have, it's like what and like just like flash out of the moment, just like not even have them anymore? Like just to not even be together anymore? Like what do I do with this now? You know? Like why do I do this to myself, you know? I know. I'm like such a hopeless romantic. And you know what? Like there's like I think I know what's to blame. You know, it's like you know that there's Disney movies. Like I grew up watching them. You know, and you know it's like you have like these beautiful tales of these princesses. You know, it's like you know, and like and the most like favorite princess that I remember, it's like Cinderella. You know, because she's she lived this troubled life. You know, having both her parents fucking like passing away and then like being mistreated, you know, by her stepmom and stepsisters, but she 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 finds it so beautiful, like, you know, and like the thing that keeps her sane is that dream of love. Like believe that dreams do come true. And one day she'll be like swept off her feet by a charming prince. God, to just save her out of her like miserable life. You know, she'll have that like one happy ending, like one day. It, I mean, that's why I like that story. It's like it's so romantic. News for you, Cinderella. Keep dreaming, because you know, like men ain't shit. Like they, it's like you'll never find like the ideal guy, the ideal prince, you know. So like, you know, because you know they'll play with your heart and your emotions, and they'll waste your time. Like fucking 9 months. Come on, like God. I guess get used to it. I guess you know because like one day he says he loves you, the next he's bailing out, breaking up with you over text. This romance is dead.
So, lockdown. What a better time to devote your time to all these sexy ass women. I mean, I'm talking to two girls right now, right? And like the first one, she's fun, she's flirty, she's kind of feisty, which I love. I mean, someone who's like a little spicy, you know? Some salsa on that perfect taco. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm talking to a second girl, and she's cute. You know, she's a little flirty, but overall, kind of vanilla.
The third girl I message and video call almost every day. I'm really in tune with her. We're more romantic than sexual, which is a great change of pace. And she is a poet and a chef, and she works at a sushi place.
Get this. The conversation was so boring that I told Vanilla I'm a chef. Gourmet chef, like Gordon Ramsay or anything. You know what I mean? Like bam, bam, bam. Like I can make it. I can do it. I'm gonna cook it. You know.
We were video chatting one day, and she was explaining to me how to wrap the sushi or whatever. I don't even know.
I literally learned how to make sushi on YouTube 3 minutes before we FaceTime. And there was so many goddamn steps in that video. I was like, screw that. And then I remembered I had old ass sushi in my refrigerator. Like, that shit was growing lakes by the time I opened it. Anyways, I deconstructed it. I put it rice, whatever was left of the like seaweed that was on top of it, and then the moldy meat, which was pretty gross now that I think about it.
That was, I really like romance. Just small things like that. It might seem small to other people, but like just teaching me something that you're passionate about is incredibly beautiful.
But anyways, she fell for it. She was like, oh my God, rice is so cute. I love rice. It tastes so good. And I'm like, has she never eaten rice before? Anyway, I was like, at this point, I was like, I want to be rice. Let me be rice. If you want to eat me, I'm rice. Look it.
So she writes poetry for children's books.
And then she messaged me and she was like, you know, you were so cute last time with the sushi and the rice. And I was like, oh shit, oh yeah, she was super impressed. Why not invite her over, right? But for some reason, Vanilla just being Vanilla, I thought, you know, why not write her a letter? So I wrote her a goddamn letter because, again, I'm Shakespeare, right? And we both know, like, how much this quarantine sucks ass. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm super grateful and, you know, but I realized how squishy I am for the female figure, you know? So I wrote her a poem with a feathered pen, and I even got, like, hot wax with my initials on the stamp. But anyway, I mean, you know, now that I say that out loud, I'm not, a hopeless romantic? No. Nah. All right, maybe. Anyways, so on the poem, let me tell you. On the poem, it said, though the sun is out and the virus is here, I wish I can hold your hand in my arms with no fear. And I have no idea where the fuck that came from, but they fucking ate that shit up too. Like, I swear to God, like, vanilla is becoming one of my favorite flavors. You know, I might change her name. I think I need to, you know? Maybe, like, something, I don't know, something sexy. Like, caramel.
And song lyrics, too.
Anyway, back to Spicy taco. Damn. I wrote her a song. Like, and then I wondered, if Vanilla fell for the rice sushi bit, she'd probably like a song too, you know? So, here, actually, I have the ukulele right here. Let me show you. Let me show you just how ridiculous this goddamn song was, right? Quarantine, I like to be quarantined. I thought you were cute, so I messaged you. It took me a while, because I thought this wasn't true. But quarantine, I like this quarantine. They fucking ate that shit up. Like, it's literally 4 goddamn notes. Like, anyway, let me put this shit down, because I gotta tell you, like, the rest of the goddamn story. But after I sent that to them, it was like putty, like they were just like putty in my hands. I shit you not. I mean, am I a hopeless romantic or someone who just has game? Like, you could decide, you know?
And she really understands me, and how it's very possible to love more than one person at the same time.
Spicy taco. After that, she was like, I'm gonna go get a test. And I was like, a test? Like, are you okay? Are you sick? She's like, well, for COVID. And I'm like, all right. I was like, go get a test for COVID. She tested negative. And who am I to deny this woman her rights of coming over to my house, right? I can invite her, you know? Like, it would be selfish of me not to. So I invited her like, you know, a good citizen would. And let's just say, if tacos could make babies, we'd probably have about let's just say 6. 6 babies running around here in like 9 months. And I know that sounds really weird because like women can't have kids or whatever, but seriously, you get what I mean.
Even though I see different people, that doesn't mean that I favor one of them over the other one. It doesn't mean that I like one relationship or I see one girl as less than the others. I love and care about all of them equally. They're all their own unique individuals, none better, none worse. No one's my favorite. I care about them all.
I don't know, you know? I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know, you know, the lockdown can get lifted and we can buy a fucking U-Haul and go to San Diego and call it a day. I mean, next time you see me, I might be married, right? I mean, can you imagine me like all cute and just like with a ring, you know, fucking playing Beyonce in the background? Like, or I don't know, divorced? Shit, that would suck. I mean, I just go on dates, you know, and like download more apps, you know? I mean, whatever, but I could be dating all kinds of flavors. Yeah, why even get married in the first place, you know? But anyway, damn, spicy taco though. Maybe I should text her. Yeah, maybe she should come over again, no? Anyways, I could be dating chocolate. I could be dating fucking strawberries. I could be dating pistachios. Like, hell, if they made a fucking pizza flavor of girls, I would fucking eat that shit up all day. But anyway. Oh, hey. Guess who it is? I don't know, should I answer it? It's, Caramelo. Yeah, that has a nice ring to it. I think I'm gonna keep it. Before I answer, though, I gotta tell you, spicy taco, well, she's coming over later. So I guess lockdown isn't so shitty, huh? Well, when you've got someone to talk to. Hey. Yeah, no, I'm not doing anything. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. I gotta let you go. Okay, bye. Yeah, of course. Come over anytime.
So I'm very thankful that even in these times in quarantine, that I'm able to share myself with these women. Yeah.
I like to daydream, but you're sober as fuck. I be cooking all the dinners, you be cleaning them up. We make a good team, good things come our way. I know we got nowhere to go, but baby, that's okay. Cause what's the point of going out if you can't look in? What's the point of dressing up if you ain't good in your skin? Asking questions